Okay, this is Amy. Madam City Manager?
Good evening. Mr. Rickaman? Here. Mr. McDowell? Mr. Duval? Ms. Devine? Here. Mr. Davis?
Here.
Mayor Benjamin?
Here.
Thank you.
Reverend McDowell, would you please bless us with an invocation?
Great and merciful God, for all you've done for us for the season of Lent as we prepare ourselves for that grand and glorious day. Lord, touch us, sensitize us, allow us to feel your presence as we sit around this table to discuss the business of this city of ours. We ask it and claim it in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. I'd like it, if possible, if the Laura Richland High School boys basketball team, 4A state champs, might lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Why don't you guys stay on the front row, because you're going to come back up in a second. I'll just... Not yet. We will be. For about 30 minutes.
Mayor Benjamin, at this time, I would ask for any public input related to the agenda items as outlined. Seeing none, we would ask for council's approval of the consent agenda items 7 through 27.
Is that a motion?
Move. Second.
Moving second, any discussion? Seeing none, remove the previous question. The clerk call the roll.
Mr. Rickaman?
Aye.
Mr. McDowell?
Aye.
Mr. Duval?
Aye.
Ms. Devine? Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Mayor Benjamin?
Aye.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir. Mr. McDowell.
Moment of personal privilege.
Yes, sir.
Where is he? I don't see Raj. Where is he? There he is. Stand up, Raj, if you would. Stand up. This past weekend, the last 2 days, of course, we celebrated our international festival. A grand and glorious time in the life of our community. Raj does an exquisite job in pulling together 100 identifiable countries under the banner of the International Festival. 20,000 plus folk attended the festival this past weekend. What a wonderful time it is in the life of our city. Raj, I just wanted to say thank you to you. Not only do you make us proud, but you also gave me some tickets, and I ate pretty good too. Thank you so much for all that you do for the festival, and we look forward next year for it even being bigger and better. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Raj. It's always a fantastic event, Raj. I have to remind people that across the Midlands, across the city, we have people from 200 different countries speaking 90 different languages, and you can find almost everyone representative at this fantastic festival each year. This is my first year missing the festival in quite some time because of our basketball competitions in the Final Four, but my children reminded me of that, Raj. They love coming as well. Keep up the great work, and know we're proud to support you as a city. Madam City Manager?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. We are moving into a period of zoning matters for the second reading. I believe, Mr. Mayor, you may want to abstain from these items,
All
sir.
right, which ones are those? How many we have?
All of them, sir, 28 through 34.
Mr.
All
Mayor,
right, so we'll be moving in no time. Okay, that's fantastic. Yes, sir?
I'd like to make a motion that we approve items 28 through 34 in the zoning matters for second reading.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Your second. Madam Clerk?
Mr. Rickman,
Aye.
Mr. McDowell,
Yes.
Mr. Duval,
Aye.
Ms. Devine, Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Thank you.
Mayor Benjamin, would you like to
Just as a
begin our...
matter, just as a matter of
Yes,
course,
sir.
let folks know, recuse myself from any zoning issues in my neighborhood. Just have no pecuniary interest. I don't even own my house. My wife owns my house. But it's just important that people never have any perception of a conflict of interest. All right?
Moving into a period of presentations, Mr. Mayor, would you like to begin with recognition of the Lower Richland High School boys basketball team?
Absolutely. This is basketball country, yo. And it's exciting to see in a period in the South. We always know that Williams-Brice is probably the biggest cathedral in the state, and to see the rise not just of our collegiate sports, basketball and baseball alike, but to continue to see the tradition sustained at places like Lower Richland High School of just building champions. And I'll say this anecdotally, and I'll be quiet and let you all speak, whoever's going to speak on behalf of the team. But not only is Lower Richland High School excelling at sports, they've been making smart strategic investments over the last several years, working in concert with our business community, working with families and parents there. And they are doing, I think, as much, if not more, than any other school in the region to make sure that their young men and women are prepared for the world that they're encountering. We've seen record improvements with our young men doing so well academically. We've seen increases in SAT scores that outpace every school in the region. We've seen a reduction in suspensions and in expulsions in partnership with groups like Ingenuity, lower than any other school, again, I believe, if not the region, the state. They're doing great things, again, not just in building athletes, but building student athletes and leaders for the future. So we're very proud to recognize the athletic accomplishments today, but even more proud to say thank you to the coaches and the teachers and the parents, and most importantly to these young leaders that you guys are going to be in charge real soon. And we're going to make sure that we're doing everything we can to prepare you for what you're doing. So how about a round of applause for our 4A state champions? Anyone want to say something on behalf of the team?
On behalf of Lower Richland High School and the boys basketball program, we do thank you all for having us today. We're very fortunate to be here. By the way, I'm Coach Caleb Gaither. This is my first year at Lower Richland High School. But like I said, we're very fortunate and thankful and gracious to you all for having us today. Just quick highlights. We finished the season 21-4 after losing our first game. So for those kids to fight through that adversity and stick to the task and eventually be state champions is huge. And the first state championship since 1999 at Lower Richland High School. So once again, thank you so much for having us, and have a great day. Thank you.
All right. You guys mind posing for a quick picture with us? All right.
Thank you.
Mr. Davis,
Yes, ma'am.
we're going to move to item 38, sir. The National Community Development Week proclamation. Ms. Gloria Saeed, Director of Community Development, and Mr. Elliot Epps, Interim Executive Director of the Community Relations Council.
Okay.
Good evening.
Evening. How are you?
I'm doing great. I know the basketball team has left, but I do want to say that I am a Lower Richland High School graduate. Yes. Along with Adam Scott, we're going to call him out as well. We are both on the same team here at the city. Mr. Elliott had another engagement, so he has asked Deanna Bookert with the Greater Columbia Community Relations Council to come in his stead. So I'd like to ask her to come forward, please. April is a month where there are a lot of different things going on. And the Community Development Department would like to take the opportunity to talk about several things that we want to recognize. And the first is the National Community Development Week. And in recognition of the National Community Development Week, this is the 31st year that we're celebrating that. And we will be celebrating it on April 17th through the 22nd. And the National Community Development Association, which is the NCDA, established this designated week to celebrate the Community Development Block Grant CDBG program and the Home Partnership program. It provides the opportunities for grantees to meet with their congressional members, showcase projects and programs, and involve the local community, including local businesses, citizens, and community groups in a week-long celebration. I'd like to tell you about a few of the things that we have scheduled for Community Development Week. We will hold a press conference on April the 17th at our offices at 1225 Lady Street, and we will have the mayor, we're still working on that confirmation, but I'm hopeful that we're going to get that, in attendance, along with Congressman Clyburn, with other entitlement jurisdictions that we have invited. And we really want to take this opportunity to highlight a lot of the programs and projects that are funded with the annual entitlement allocations that we receive annually from HUD for CDBG and home dollars. As you all know, there's a lot of discussion in Washington about those programs and the fact that they are targeted to be eliminated. And we want to do all we can during this week of recognition to let the community know how beneficial those dollars are, and we definitely need them to continue. So during that week, we're also going to have a display in City Hall that will look at a lot of the, promote a lot of the programs that we offer through the Community Development Department as it relates to our home loan programs. And we also have a ribbon cutting scheduled on Wednesday, April the 19th. And that's in partnership and collaboration with Richland County, Community Development Department, along with the Columbia Housing Authority. And we will be celebrating the construction of 12 new houses in the Lion Street community. In addition to that, we will have a block party. Yes, a community development block party. And you all will certainly receive invitations, and the community is invited. We'll hold that at 1225 Lady Street as well in our parking lot. And we're going to have games, we're going to have music, we're going to have foods that everyone can enjoy. And the games will include questions about community. And so if you get those questions right, then you're going to win a really nice prize. So those are some of the things that we have planned for Community Development Week. In addition, April is also Fair Housing Month. And April marks the 49th anniversary of the passage of the Fair Housing Act, the federal law that prohibits discrimination in housing. During this month, we hope to educate people that discrimination has no home in America and that no person should be denied housing or treated differently because of their race, color, national origin, religion, gender, family status, or disability. Recognizing the importance of fair housing benefits Columbia's people and places by providing opportunities and improving quality of life. And this year, we'd like to present the proclamation for Community Development Week as well as Fair Housing Month to the Greater Columbia Community Relations Council, and Ms. Deanna Bookert is here to accept on behalf of Mr. Elliott. Would you like to have a few words?
I was not prepared to say anything. I just found out like 2 hours ago that I would be here. But on behalf of the Community Relations Council, we take pride in, it's an honor and privilege to do the work that we do within the community. So we graciously appreciate this and this honor.
Well, it's our honor to recognize April 2017 as Columbia Fair Housing Month, and the week of April 17th to the 22nd of 2017 is National Community Development Week. Gloria, you summarized some of the major challenges we're facing this year, and of course the President's budget that he released calls for the elimination of a number of programs that community development professionals around the country have used to leverage private sector participation, nonprofit participation to dramatically help shape and reshape cities. I think it's what's led to the revitalization of most of our cities and metropolitan economies over the last several decades. I think it'd probably be helpful and illustrative even as we move forward. I know in all the different documents you have already, you guys have highlighted for us a number of the real success stories, whether it's facade on Main Street or throughout District 1 and District 2, or even the redevelopment of Columbia's first suburb in Elmwood Park, the role that CDBG funds and others have contributed. I think obviously the folks you have gathered here today are also a great example of it's not just the dollars, but the way we leverage those dollars with our private sector partners that really help change lives across this community. So let's continue to talk, let's continue to advocate, and obviously let's continue to do the work. So I just want to say thank you all for your work. And I'm presenting this to you. All right, yes ma'am, please.
Before you do, I do want to take just 1 second and ask our city staff, those who are here in attendance today, to please stand and be recognized.
Staff?
I can't say enough about the staff. And I also like to
and your partners as well, please.
Okay, that's going to be a different presentation.
I'll follow your lead, Gloria. How
Okay,
about that?
that's the next one. But they do an excellent job, and I just want to say publicly thank you all for all the hard work that you do. You're very much appreciated.
Mayor Benjamin, at this time, we will move forward with the second presentation from our community development staff, the Bank on Columbia presentation and National Financial Literacy Month proclamation. Mr. Ron King, Program Specialist for the Community Development Department.
Good evening.
Hey, Ron.
Evening.
How's it going? Mr. Mayor, Council,
Yes, sir.
as Saeed talked about earlier, I'm here to talk a little bit about April being Financial Literacy Month. Of course, Financial Literacy Month is an effort to help residents here in Columbia better understand their finances and encourage them to practice healthy financial habits. And that being said, we have Bank on Columbia. This being the month, we want to also talk about the success of the first year Bank On. I want to do a little presentation on Bank On and highlight some of the successes that we've had first year. And I'll talk about what Bank On Columbia is as well. Okay. Statistics. The unbanked here in Columbia is 10.4%, which is 13,000 individuals. Unbanked individuals are individuals who do not have bank accounts. They rely on payday lenders and check cashing businesses for their financial needs. And of course, those individuals pay somewhere upwards of $1,200, $1,300 annually just in fees. So of course, it's understandable to talk about Bank on Columbia and why it's necessary here in Columbia. And we have 21.1% of Columbia's population is underbanked. Those are the individuals who have bank accounts, but they still rely on these payday lenders and check cashing businesses for their financial needs. Of course, 63.9% are fully banked, 84,000, and another 4.5% are unknown. Our partnering banks with the Bank on Columbia is BB&T, South State Bank, and TD Bank, and we have representatives from those banks here today, and we'll recognize them as well. And Bank on Columbia would not be Bank on Columbia if it were not for our community partners, United Way, Transitions, Richland Library, SC Works, Homeless No More, Alston Wilkes, No Money Incorporated, Cooperative Ministry, Columbia Housing Authority, VA Dorn, and South Carolina Department of Corrections. Now, I do these workshops throughout the city of Columbia, financial education workshops for these nonprofit clients, and our partner banks, they attend a lot of these workshops. And the good dynamic about Bank on Columbia is we're able to sign a lot of their clients up for bank accounts on location. Something that a lot of individuals need. One thing is a lot of banks, they rely on their clients to come into those banks, but the thing about Bank On, we go to the clients and go to where they're needed the most. Okay. First year results. We had 52 Fresh Start financial workshops throughout Columbia. We had 1,079 total workshop participants. 88% of those individuals live below the federal poverty level. We had 54 personal financial consultations as well, and we were able to open up 62 bank accounts. Now, the next slide should be a video of a success story from one of our Bank On clients. If it'll play.
It was through a 7 to 10 year sentence at a pre-release program at Manning Correctional Institution. When Mr. King came there, when I was at the transitional home at Alston Wilkes, he came there as well, and I was reintroduced, so to speak, and finished it out there. Got the certificate and got me an account at South State Bank. When I got to South State Bank, I was allowed to open up an account and set up an account for direct deposit. So being that now that I'm working, my money goes straight to the bank. So that gives you that sense of independence. You know, you're not financially secure, but financially independent. It will help them to gain a sense of responsibility, you know, to see, especially if a person is spending money wastelessly. Take the Bank on Columbia financial workshop classes. You can't go wrong. You can't.
So that's a success story that we've had, and that's just one individual. He's been through a few of the Bank on Columbia workshops, and he was able to secure a bank account through South State Bank. So Bank On's future. Of course, we want to build more banking partnerships, get more banks involved in the community so we can be able to attract more clientele throughout Columbia and open more bank accounts, savings accounts, low to no cost bank accounts, savings accounts. And of course, we have support from the FDIC, which we actually have a representative here, and she may say a few words to talk about her or their support for the Bank on Columbia program as well. And of course, we want to increase the number of accounts open for the Bank on Columbia program. So, Penny, if you want to come up and say a few words.
Good evening, and I'll make sure I say a few words. As you may know, FDIC was created in 1933 to maintain the public's confidence and stability in our nation's financial system by promoting safe and sound banking practices. With that, the FDIC recognized that trust is the foundation for creating strong banking relationships between banks, the unbanked and underbanked consumers. With that, the FDIC across the country, we joined forces with bank-owned coalitions to encourage the member banks to create affordable financial products for these markets, with the hopes of encouraging them to join the financial mainstream. So that's why FDIC is here tonight, to support Bank on Columbia efforts with the Columbia's unbanked and unbanked population. Thank you for having us here.
Thank you. We want to recognize the partner banks that came by giving them a proclamation as well. Mr. Mayor.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're gonna. Oh, you mean I thought you were gonna recognize them, and then you want to say who's here first, or?
Oh yeah, we have
Okay.
Pammy Eads from South State Bank, along with Nate Barber. We also have Chester Leaks from TD Bank. We have Stephanie Johnson from BB&T, and Brian Johnson, who represents Hope No More, and he's partnering with BB&T as well. Hope Operation, I'm sorry.
A round of applause.
Operation Hope.
A round of applause for our private sector partners and for FDIC. Taking a picture, y'all. And I know she's not here physically, but she's on the line. I want to thank Ms. Devine for her real leadership in making sure we participated in this program early on. There's a great deal of discussion going on nationally around financial literacy and independence and getting more and more of our citizens banked. And because of her leadership and the folks working in our community development department, we've been able to be a leader in this space, and hopefully we can take it to the next level. So thank you, Tamika.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
Ms. Devine, do you have any other words?
No, for remote, y'all know I'm more quiet than normal, but I just want to thank Gloria and Ron for this, and possibly Deborah, and I thank Deborah enough for getting this program enough, and this is just one piece of Deborah Livingston in the city of Columbia.
Thank you, Ms. Devine. Item 37, Mayor Benjamin, a Community for All Ages proclamation.
I'm going to read this one, then I'm going to ask our friends to stand up and have a word with us. Whereas a significant portion of Columbia's population is aging, and aging population affects all, as individuals and as a civil society, and whereas as Columbia residents stay healthier and active longer, Columbia is committed to adapting to the needs of changing demographics to serve the interests of South Carolinians and sustain economic and social vitality. And whereas an age-friendly Columbia commitment encourages active aging by optimizing opportunities for health for residents of all ages, and whereas where we choose to live in our physical, social, and cultural environments greatly impact how we live and how in all South Carolina communities play a critical role in helping residents live longer and better. And whereas Columbia is taking a lead on addressing the question for all South Carolina communities on how businesses, governments, nonprofits, and individuals will respond to changing needs for healthcare, housing, transportation, food, and other essentials. And whereas on March 24th, 2017, Governing Magazine and AARP are convening in Columbia, one of the first 4 communities in the nation to host a statewide roundtable on the kinds of policies and programs needed to foster innovation and create communities for all ages. We want to take this opportunity, as mayor of the city, along with my fellow members of City Council, do hereby proclaim that the City of Columbia is committed to promoting, creating, and sustaining communities for all ages. I want to ask our friends from AARP to join me at the podium right now, and want them to, of course, discuss what we're talking about here, but also underscore the importance of being the first large city in this state to determine that we're going to be a community for all ages and what this means. Please.
Well, we are very grateful for the support. AARP has always been about certainly those who are aging, but it's really about families and communities. And the project that AARP has initiated throughout the nation is called Livable Communities. And so with what we are doing now through Mayor Benjamin and all of you and a number of community partners, we are really looking at how do we make Columbia a city that really is about all ages. What's good for an 8-year-old is good for an 80-year-old in terms of where you live, how you get around, and how you communicate with other people within your community. So we're very grateful, and we look forward to this really being something that's going to be a model for other cities in the state.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. I tell you, when you sit down with this team, and it's a team, business leaders, social work professionals, it's a really comprehensive and energetic approach to really determine how we can live up to our full potential. When we talk about being a talent magnet and wanting to be educated and entrepreneurial, the ability to attract talented, experienced people from all across the country, indeed the world, to this community, almost all of them socially driven, wanting to improve their community. I mean, it's a wonderful opportunity, and we're excited to be in the vanguard because of your leadership in this effort, and to officially stick our toe in the water, our full body in the water, yes, as the first city in this state to become a community for all ages and a livable community.
Thank you. We're very grateful, and we look forward to what lies ahead for all of us.
Absolutely.
So, thank you.
All right.
At this time, we will move into item 40, Mr. Davis, the 2017 South Carolina Cornbread Festival. Ms. Sabrina Odom, Executive Director of the North Columbia Business Association.
Hello.
Well, the mayor's not here, but good evening, Mayor and Council.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's get something. I'm gonna start out by just saying a little bit of history about, telling you a little bit of history about the South Carolina Cornbread Festival. The South Carolina Cornbread Festival started as a simple idea on how we promote our mom and pop businesses in our historic neighborhoods on North Main and North Columbia by putting on a grand event to bring out-of-towners back to our area. That's how it started. It's also to give our mom and pop businesses an opportunity to be vendors and our civic groups to share in the financial awards. Our festival brings people together like a good old Thanksgiving dinner with cornbread. Why cornbread? Ask your favorite big box Walmart store who carries 612 products of cornbread. This shows a strong connection to the consumers of this product. Our festival is a celebration of all things: cornbread, eating, cooking, and buying. How is the Cornbread Festival is art? I'm sure you will agree that the many forms of art require a certain amount of talent, both learned and natural, whether it is music, painting, writing, dancing, and yes, cooking. That includes cornbread. How many of us have or had a mom, grandmother, aunt, or other family members, maybe that certain member of your church or neighborhood that had their own way or recipe on how to make cornbread or a cornbread dish? And our Martin ladies who enjoy making cornbread from Jiffy. They took pride in preparing it, how it looked and tasted that made it theirs, their creation, their technique, their presentation. That is an art form. Last but not least, we have a competition between the city and county called the Cornhole Competition. The county's 3 times champions, 2013 to 2015, and today I will present a trophy to the 2016 champions, this city. Will the county make a comeback and regain their title, or will the city successfully defend it? The South Carolina Cornbread Festival benefits the Buddy and Benjamin Literacy Program, which is very important to our community, and the North Main Revitalization Project. Please visit our website for more information. April 14th is the South Carolina kickoff at the Warmouth Restaurant, which you have that in front of you. I expect to see the council, the mayor, whoever to be there. It starts at 6 o'clock. And April 22nd, our 5th anniversary, Earlwood Park will be the South Carolina Cornbread Festival. And also, we will have trolleys, so if you're parking far away, a trolley will pick you up and bring you to the festival, and when the festival is over, they'll take you back to your car. And we also will start at our welcome at 11 a.m. will be the cornhole competition between the city and county. And right now, Councilman Sam Davis, any other councilman, Steve Benjamin, we have a cornhole game over here that we would like for you to throw a beanbag to see if you're ready for the Cornbread Festival.
I think it's every year I participate, we lose. I'm not there. Mr. Davis wins it all, so I'm not sure what that means.
Well,
Sam is a good tosser.
Mr. Mayor, I'll just have you know that I brought the trophy back to council last year.
After many years gone.
I was outnumbered.
County didn't show up?
Paul Livingston
Nope.
and Jim Manning and I whipped them both on behalf of the city.
He's a good talker.
Yes. Now,
He's a good talker. Tulsa. We're in Tulsa.
Let the record reflect that. That's Tony the Tiger. That's not a Clemson Tiger.
I just want to make sure.
He's a good Tulsa.
Mayor, you need to exercise.
I'm stopping while I'm ahead. You gonna give this a shot?
It's a lot bigger right there on the park.
Oh, man. You cut it out, man.
And that's the end of my presentation.
Sabrina, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And thank you, NTBA, all the wonderful things you guys are doing. We're going to make some great things happen.
Yes.
So
And,
Friday,
we can't
April
do it
14th.
without
Friday,
you,
April 14th.
Yes.
Make it happen.
Thank you.
All right. It's the kickoff
I want to
with
commend
the event on April 22nd. All right.
you. Good call.
Mayor Benjamin, should we move into ordinances first reading?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
I
What
was
was
just
that?
making sure we didn't have any other presentations. Are you ready to move into ordinances?
Yes, ma'am, we are.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am, we
ordinances first reading. Item 41, ordinance number 2017-030, granting an easement to South Carolina Electric and Gas Company along a portion of city-owned property identified as Richland County, TMS number as outlined, the Columbia Commons Baseball
Is there a
Stadium.
motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? With the previous question, clerk call a roll.
Mr. Rickman.
Aye.
Mr. McDowell.
Yes.
Mr. Duval.
Aye.
Ms. Devine. Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mayor Benjamin.
Aye.
Resolutions, item 42, resolution number R 2017-036, release and abandonment of a portion of existing 15 feet City of Columbia water easements for the University of South Carolina football operations facility near Bluff Road and National Guard Road in Richland County.
Is there a motion?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, with the previous question, clerk call a roll.
Mr. Rickman.
Aye.
Mr. McDowell.
Yes.
Mr. Duval.
Aye.
Ms. Devine. Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mayor Benjamin.
Aye.
Item 43, resolution number R 2017-037, creating the City of Columbia Food Policy Committee.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir. Mr. Duval.
I'd like to discuss this one a little bit. Who has asked for this?
I have.
Why?
Oh, sure, absolutely. Well, a number of different reasons, and I think the resolution speaks to the heart of the matter. As we deal with food deserts and growing food deserts across this city, as we deal with meeting the needs of not just our seniors, who we took a big step forward working with Senior Resources to meet food insecurity needs with them through Meals on Wheels. But food deserts, food insecurity, making sure that we're becoming a more and more of a slow foods city, encouraging more policies that encourage people to grow their own produce and healthy produce and organic and sustainable produce within this region. This is a comprehensive approach working with a number of different organizations and state, federal, and local agencies to completely look at the way where and how we get our food and how we figure out how to feed more people across this region healthier food. So this is it's a pretty progressive and aggressive approach to trying to meet our needs across the region.
Well, that's great, but I noticed that there were several other agencies at the top of this that could be doing this project instead of the City of Columbia. Is this one of our core functions?
Feeding people, I would say yes, is one of our core functions. Making sure people have access to high quality, local, healthy foods. Certainly, I think goes to the core of not just who we are as a municipal corporation, but who we are as leaders in this community.
Do you have any idea how much this cost?
Right now, there is no financial commitment. This is, the challenge is that if you're going to address these issues, which I would say, Howard, are significant in certain parts of our community, making sure people have access not just to high quality food, but just to food on a daily basis, the only place that you can actually exercise convening authority to bring all the proper places around the table is at the city. We had no less than 15 people gathered downstairs, and a growing list of those who have resources, but also significant technical expertise to figure out where we're going to go. But if we're going to get a solution and a way forward on making sure that our people have access to, our children have access to the fruit and whole grain and locally grown foods, whether it's in community gardens or in the urban farms, that we have a good, strong look at developing a food hub system here in the Midlands, or just basically meeting the needs of people who have not, through Harvest Hope or other efforts. That's only going to happen if we show some leadership. This allows us to serve as convening authority. Obviously, if this requires any type of an outlay of money on behalf of the city, that would come back before this council.
Well, what I'm afraid of is it's going to get started and then it's going to come back for funding, because it says right here there's a strong possibility that the program would need funding from the city to get off the ground, pay salaries for necessary staff members, and conduct research and interviews for the food system analysis.
And that is obviously the prerogative of this council to decide if that's something that's a high enough priority for us to decide that we want to fund it. But it doesn't mean that we should let people go hungry.
Well, we're not letting people go hungry.
No, but it's not ours. It's not. We're not making it happen, but it's happening. It's happening all across this community, and I take it as a personal priority, and I would hope that we would as a collective priority to make sure that people are fed. And without our leadership bringing all the people together, and certainly when the time comes to try and fund positions or someone who can bird dog this every single day, we'll reach out to our partners. We'll reach out to our governmental partners, both locally, state, and federal. We'll reach out to our nonprofit partners. Most nonprofits or philanthropic organizations of any size or significance will want to see a local government commitment, and it doesn't just need to be us. But I can think of very few things, if anything, short of public safety, that we could do that's more important than making sure that people have access to food. And we may not, those of us in this room may not see it every single day, but it is very real all across this community, and we need to come up with a collective and comprehensive approach to meeting those needs.
Well, will this be given to one of our staff people? Our staff is up to 100% right now. I'm worried about another bureaucracy being created here.
We have a number of staff I know who are personally already invested in this issue. We're looking at urban farms and community gardens all across District 2 and District 1 as we speak. We've met with community leaders from Belvedere and Booker, Washington Heights, and others about establishing a food cooperative in District 2, a grocery store where there are no grocery stores right now. We've met with the folks at City Roots and our different development corporations to talk about the establishment of a new urban farm in which they would serve in the mentor-protege relationship. Our staff are already involved in this work, and if it becomes enough for a full-time FTE, then out of the 2,200 or so FTEs we have here, we might need to appropriate one for that purpose. I think it's important enough. And obviously, and I understand.
This is
sure.
the first time the city council has discussed it.
Yes, sir. It has to start somewhere.
I just think that it's moving too quickly. We needed to consider the cost of it, how many people will be involved. Is it our mission to do this thing?
I understand that. I respect that. Ms. Wiley, 1 second, please. Let Mr. McDowell speak, then Mr. Davis speak.
My 2 cents worth. I spent yesterday with Delta Sigma Theta sorority we personally delivered, I think about 30 Easter food packages to the elementary school for families. The issue of hunger is real. A lot of times it's like a sleeping giant. We don't see it. I think the initiative to recognize hunger in our city is good. However, we get to the point of our total commitment and involvement in it, I don't have a problem with this as the initial step, and as the dialogue is going now, we can reach that point as to how we're going to, what our total commitment's going to be. But I definitely, we just talked about our embracing seniors in our capital city.
All in favor of that.
Huh?
I'm all in favor of that.
Well, I hear you. But I think we all know too that there are seniors in our city who face hunger issues, and sometimes that is also a quiet situation. So I'm in favor of taking a look at this, moving forward, and then I think, as you both have said, if there's a question of just how far our commitment will be, we can make that a point of discussion.
Mr. McDowell?
Only because I know I see this every day, and
there are a few seniors sitting around this table here today that are going to get hungry at some point. No question about that. There's at least 3 over here.
Yeah.
Let me just say a word as, yes, there is a priority, and I understand what Howard is saying. Yeah, I do. But I also understand that there is a ravenous creature in this city of ours, and that creature is homelessness and not having food to eat. I think it's regrettable at times. It's regrettable at times when there's not food there and when a family suffers. I support this, and I recognize that there are some other things that perhaps we need to do down the road. If there are some things we need to do down the road, then of course we can do those things. But right now, I think there needs to be a real emphasis. Am I my brother's keeper, my sister's keeper? Somewhere I read that, and somewhere I believe that. We pay for everything else. We do everything else we want. Why not a food council that's going to encase and embrace itself in the whole issue of food and persons being hungry?
We do have some folks here from our Midlands Food Alliance, and if y'all want someone to speak to the issue, obviously, a lot of this discussion is, of course, against the backdrop of even the president's recommended budget that came out, I guess, on the 16th of the month, in which he has proposed eliminating a number of significant federal funding sources that meets the needs of at least among us. We're glad to have you here.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm John.
Ms. Devine, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to point out, I understand Councilman Duvall's concerns. I do think that from what I see happening in other areas, it's similar policy councils on various topics. I think part of it is coordinating efforts. And so, instead of kind of looking at it as we certainly have to look at what it's going to cost us and staff time and other things, but it may also save money because you'll be coordinating what other agencies are doing and making sure that you're addressing needs in a targeted way. So I think the council is actually a great idea to harness a lot of the resources that's happening and see where we need to put our efforts. So I think we may see a savings of time and effort.
Thank you, Ms. Devine.
I'm John Newman, and there's many areas that a food policy council can address, but one, the mayor mentioned food deserts. Another appropriate name for it, for some of these areas, are called food swamps. It's not like food is not available, but healthy food is not available. I don't know how many times all of you have stopped by a convenience store on your way home around 5 o'clock, and you've have people coming in there with no form of transportation other than their feet, coming in after work, buying Coca-Colas, potato chips, or whatever, because it's the only food available in that area. Fast food restaurants. We have an obesity epidemic in this country and in this state and in this county. And there's associated chronic diseases, stroke, heart attack, diabetes among the top three associated with it, where we have a very unique situation where we have overweight people who are suffering from malnutrition because of their poor diets. That's only one area that the Food Policy Council could hope to address by supporting local farmers and bringing healthy, locally grown food to these areas for people's enjoyment, and affordable too, and accessible. So that's just one area that the Food Policy Council would address, and we'd like your consideration.
I want to thank y'all so much for your work so far as well. You've been doing great work, and I found our first meeting, which I'd love to invite all members of council and learn more about the work that's already being done, to attend. I left the meeting exhilarated about the possibilities, what we could do together to help improve the quality of life for people all across the region, So thank you. Any questions of John? Mr. Rickenman?
I would just say that I think, conceptually I understand what wants to be done here. I do think, though, for the city to make that type of commitment and where it's headed, we need to narrow the focus. If you look at where we potentially in this resolution, I mean, it is pretty widespread and so forth. And unfortunately, we have a tendency to get into these big things and don't get enough things accomplished. And if we're going to move forward in this, I think we need to narrow the focus down a little bit and have some more guidance before we start funding, because it really could. I'm not sure that we could take it all on, to be quite honest with you.
Mr. Duval.
Mr. Mayor, obviously there's been some discussion outside of council on this issue, but there are several members of council that have not had any background on this and have not had the privilege of getting up to speed on it. Maybe this needs to be deferred until next meeting to pass this resolution and look more carefully at not only the expense of it, but what staff members will be required to participate in it, and as Councilman Rickenman said, maybe the scope of this resolution.
Help me understand, what about, and honestly, we're used to, and traditionally, just as a matter of protocol and decorum, we defer to one another on issues that we would like to hold over. I know you didn't recommend that, Daniel.
I'm prepared to move forward. I just wanted
sure.
to
Yeah,
look at the
I
scope.
understand. It just baffles me why this discussion is one that elicits such grave consideration. This is an important issue, and I'm not sure how establishing
Been brought up to speed on how important this issue is that the city of Columbia do it.
Hunger, Howard?
We fund hunger. We fund the United Way $1 million a year to put together a hunger program.
We don't. No, we don't.
Well, we fund the United Way, and part of their mission has been to put together the map of where feeding stations are in Columbia.
Homelessness. That's homelessness. But
there's feeding stations that they're mapping out.
We're not talking about homeless people. We're talking about our citizens, many of whom live in the darkness, who don't have access to quality food, Howard. And I just don't know why this. I mean, I understand what we're talking about. I will obviously. Let me make one thing clear. We're going to pass this today, or we're going to pass it at the next meeting. But we're going to pass it. It's that important. So we can decide that we can mull over it some more if that's what you decide. But we're going to move forward as a community, working to meet the needs of our citizens who need this. And I'm struggling for words to understand why this is something that Mr. Davis.
Mr. Mayor, I would recommend that we bring this back maybe at the next meeting after.
Why?
We've had an opportunity. I think this is it's a very important initiative for the city, and I think it's good that the city recognizes that there are citizens among us who do not have access to nutritional meals, and I think if another week or so to mull over it and think about how we could be a significant player in this effort, I'm willing to do that. But I don't. I'll respect the need to have more information or the need to just further discuss it. But I think at the end of the day, the sun will shine on this capital city if we take that step to recognize this particular need and commit to playing a significant role in it. And I venture to say that it may not, just because we recognize it and want to play a role in it, doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be of significant expense to the city. I think that would be in our control also.
So what you're saying, Sam, is that we defer it?
I don't have a problem doing that if that's going to keep the conversation going.
But do you defer hunger? Do you defer the whole issue of hunger because
No.
Wait a minute, hold it, let me finish. I gave you your time.
Appreciate you.
Do you defer the whole issue of hunger? Because we need to think about it more. I mean, what is it? I have not, as Howard, as you said, I have not had conversation about this food council. I have not, but I understand that there are issues in our city that deals with food. Conceptually, yeah, I buy into it. I know that there's some work we've got to do. So we defer it. What about those? We continue to defer folk, man. We continue to defer folk. We can spend money on everything else except the lives of people. And that hurts, man. That hurts. We can spend it on everything else. What about those mouths that are parched and dried because there's no food in the cupboard? And we're going to defer it? It doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense that a family, and I understand that there are parameters we've got to set. I understand that there are perhaps staff we've got to put on this project, or we got to spend some money. Isn't it worth it? We spend it on everything else. It does not make any sense that a family is hungry in Columbia. Say what you will of me. And if we're going to bridge that by simply saying we've got to defer it and think about it, I think that's a poor excuse.
I'm gonna hold this. I propose this. I'm gonna hold it to the next meeting. We'll spend some time talking about it. All of us collectively. This is important, and I think it goes to the core of who we are as a city. But we can work through the language, and then we'll have discussions. We'll put it up for a vote next week. I want to thank you all for being here. Ms. Wiley, did you want to have a word? A very brief word. All right. A very kind word.
Hey, how you doing? Hi, everybody. I'm from Belvedere. I've been there ever since 75. And we've always had several grocery stores. I live right by a school. On Fridays, they have to pack a lunch for these kids so they have food for the weekend. You know, you call our area poor, but it's not poor because you put that name on it. I don't consider myself as being poor because I do have food. I got to go to school Thursday, and help out bagging dinner for these kids for the weekend. You know, we don't have a grocery store no more than Food Lion, but we can get convenience stores that sell eggs for $3 when it's $1 at the grocery store. I have a problem with that. From 2 Notch to Monticello Road, we don't have that particular grocery store like you have in your neighborhood. No, when we did have one, it wasn't the fresh stuff. I'm not going nowhere where I stay. I love my neighborhood. But this is feeding people, babies. And as far as the age, I'm right here with you all. I consider myself as elderly. I don't know why this thing's so far. I consider myself as elderly people. I take 4 little women to the grocery store every month, and they be peeling and what I'm gonna buy, the same little things. And I be trying to take them to Publix. That's too high. They go to these little stores. And just like you said, the convenience stores are taking over our neighborhood because we don't have a grocery store to walk to. So I understand the mayor thing. I want it in our neighborhood. And you know, I consider that a hurtful feeling when you say, no, discuss it. Because you know I'm gonna be at all these meetings. I don't care, you know. But that's hard. That's I got 3 aunts living in our neighborhood, and they consider food and medicine. And the only store they like to go to is Piggly Wiggly. We have one left, but I have, you know, they can't walk there. I have to take them. But please reconsider. Our neighborhood is suffering, and it's time to stop. It's time to stop now. I'm very passionate with Mayor Benjamin. I thank you all.
We have a number of issues that are coming to a head. We're gonna.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah, Mr. McDowell and Mr. Rickman, and then we're gonna wrap this up.
Having said that, and with all that has been said, I'd like to offer a motion. And the motion is simply that conceptually, this council approves the Food Council, and that at the appropriate time, we come together to set the criteria, whether it's our commitment, whether it's financial or whether it's whatever. But conceptually, I'm asking that we approve this conceptual idea.
Mr.
I would suggest that we if we're deferring this or if we're taking it up tonight, that I think it'd be very beneficial for us at the next meeting to have staff recommendations on it as well, and how staffing would happen so that we can have a global picture of it, so that we know what we're moving forward with, and that we can do that. I think there's a lot of unknowns in this. Conceptually, I support the concept, but I think we do need to have a little more involvement, and I think it would be great if we could have staff to provide us the backup, and we put it on, if we wait till next time, we put it on the agenda with all the information so that we all can move forward in a positive direction.
Daniel, I agree with you 100%. Parliamentarily, there is a motion on the floor.
Mr. Mayor?
So I just want to say something.
May I?
Yes, ma'am. I'm City Manager.
And this is probably in response somewhat to Mr. Rickman's comment. Depending on what type of recommendations you would be asking for, Mr. Rickman, I mean, I would venture to say that our staff would not be the ones to make those type of recommendations. I do think that, as council has done in the past with various committees, whether it's been on homelessness or other issues, there have been other experts, which I think many of them are here in the room tonight anyway, who bring to bear certain guidance and expertise that we certainly don't have as staff. So the way I took the intent here was for the committee to be formed with really external community folks who have the expertise in this area. I wouldn't want to commit our staff to bringing you any recommendations because that's not what we do in this realm, but we certainly do provide assistance and through Parks and Recreation, community development, whatever it might be, to work with others in our community who do have the knowledge and expertise. So I took this committee to be more about that and giving guidance to the council, and you all appointing those outside folks. And certainly our staff, as we do anyway, will be there to assist and help as the committee does its work. You know, I would maybe recommend that if council were to do anything in looking at the way the resolution is worded, maybe it needs a little more specificity, Mr. Mayor, as to the people who are in the room, the people who are the experts in our community on this.
Yeah, sure. The memo attached to that most of you do not have access to speaks to those who participate in discussions thus far. The Midlands Food Alliance, South Carolina End Child Hunger, Clemson Extension, the 4-H Services, the Carolina Farm Stewardship Association, the South Carolina State Food Policy Council, our staff at Parks and Rec, University of South Carolina School of Public Health, and so many others who've been involved in this discussion thus far. I'm gonna put a bow on this. We're gonna.
Mr. Mayor, I don't want to interrupt you.
Please.
But I'm a stickler for this. There's a motion on the floor.
Sure.
And
sure.
if it died for lack of a second?
Yes, sir. It's gonna die. It's gonna die for lack of a second.
All right. So my point of order is simply this.
Yes, sir.
Is that because it died for lack of a second.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Wilson has already indicated that there's not staff there to perhaps take care of that particular need, perhaps community folk doing that. Is that what I heard?
That's what I thought the intent was anyway, that we just assist as you all appointed the 15 individuals who would serve in this.
Well, I find it very okay.
We have on any number of issues, transportation, arts, noise, bikes and walkways. We pull together citizens to address any number of issues that require staff time every day, all day. We're going to spend some more time talking amongst ourselves, and this will be back on the agenda at the next meeting. For those of you, Ms. Wiley, thanks for always being here. Thank you all. I'm sorry to get you out of your offices one more time, but I know you feel as passionate about this, if not more so than all of us. We want you back in a couple of weeks, and we'll have broad, if not unanimous, consensus on this by then. Let's work through the language together. All right. So we'll defer to the next meeting. All right. All right.
And I believe there's another potential committee with item number 44, resolution number R 2017-040, creating City of Columbia Quiet Zone Advisory Committee.
This is something I put forward, and we have had a good bit of discussion around this issue, both as staff and as members of council, hearing from the community a great deal on quiet zones. The practice of working with our railroads, primarily commercial railroads, in very simple terms, have them stomp honking their horns in the middle of the night and disrupting people's quality of life, get those concerns raised all around the city. Obviously, as you get into the heart of District 3, you know District 3 doesn't have a representative here right now, but there's a bit of density up and down Assembly Street and approaching 5 Points, but the issues are real in Districts 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we have to work together to not only get some citizens involved on this issue, but a number of them bring a great deal of expertise and also advocacy. Sometimes this is raised as a City of Columbia issue, and the reality is this is something we need the state and federal government also involved in trying to get this done. This will at some point, of course, require a local, state, and federal capital contributions to get done. Our staff has vigorously and rigorously looked at this issue from so many different ways, including trying to reprogram some federal funds and earmarks over the years, but we're not giving up. And I know I have at least a handful of citizens who are interested in serving on this, and I would ask each of the members of council to at least come back with some specific names. I have 3 that I wanted to suggest tonight: Jamie Harpootlian, Kyle Rice, and Brenda Kramer, who've indicated that they want to serve. And if there are any other citizens, they don't have to be named right now, but would like to also have representatives from every single district in the city on this Quiet Zone Advisory Committee.
I move adoption of the Quiet Zone Committee.
All right. Is there a second? A second. Any more discussion? Mr. Rickman, please.
Can you just, I don't know what y'all have worked on prior to, because I wasn't here.
Sure. It's please.
Is this kind of left over from, I remember
It's
years
it's
ago?
the issue we've been talking about for years. Yeah. There was an effort to.
Dr. Stuckert was pushing it at one point.
Well, John had been pushing it lately as he's been talking on you all, but it's an issue. I mean, and you expect that if you think about the way the city has grown and naturally grown, going south as the university continues to grow, down Assembly Street, the thousands of new people who are living there. This is becoming more and more of a major issue. The significant improvements at each of these crossings is not inconsequential. So it's going to really take some real strategy, really getting our heads wrapped around the issue. We haven't had a study in a number of years. So we probably have to eventually update our study and then, again, be very aggressive in pulling together partners to address the issue.
What type of appointees are you looking for us to recommend?
The resolution calls for residents, neighborhood leaders, and business leaders. Obviously, if you know people who've either expressed significant concerns and are willing to put some sweat equity into it, that would be helpful. But certainly, if we have some citizens who have some particular expertise to bring to bear, I would think engineering and traffic, or someone who's cracked the code on how railroads work and how to influence Norfolk Southern, CSX, state DOT, the State Infrastructure Bank, and federal DOT and others. This is something that we've established with a great deal of time and energy into over the years, and it's the type of issue that goes away and pops back up for many of us, but for those of us that live near these lines, it's a daily and or nightly issue. But we can work with Ms. Belton on if we need to have a more aggressive, a comprehensive appeal for more citizens to be involved. Maybe we'll do that. Just put on a call. But I would still, as we approve this, like to submit those 3 names as 3 of the original 11 members. And I would assume those included in Mr. Duval's motion. Move the previous question. Clerk, call a roll.
Mr. Rickman?
Aye.
Mr. McDowell? Mr. Duval? Mr. Vine? Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Mayor Benjamin?
Aye. And thank you.
Mayor Benjamin, would you like us to bring this item also back on the 18th to get the rest of the recommendations?
Let's go ahead and put out a quick call to duty, maybe a 7-day turnaround for other potential members.
Yes.
And while we won't prescribe it, certainly because certain areas of town may have more of a concentration of tracks, let's try to make sure we come out with a balanced committee that does represent the entire city's geography.
Moving into a period of appointments, council is asked to approve the appointment of one individual to the Columbia Museum of Art Commission.
We have Ms. Belton.
I move we reappoint Gail Morrison.
Second. Any discussion? Move the previous question. Clerk, call a roll.
Mr. Rickman?
Aye.
Mr. McDowell? Mr. Duval?
Aye.
Mr. Davis? Mr. Vine? Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Mayor Benjamin?
Aye. Election Commission. I apologize, Madam City Manager.
Go ahead, Ms. Belton. I'm sorry, Ms. Belton, I called out the first one, but I really meant for you to do these.
Okay. Election Commission, council is asked to appoint one individual to this commission.
I'd like to move the appointment of Helen Munolin. to the Election Commission.
Second.
Any discussion? We'll move to the previous question. Clerk, call the roll.
Mr. Rickman?
Aye.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mr. Duval?
Aye.
Ms. Devine? Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Mayor Benjamin?
Aye.
Midlands Authority for Convention, Sports, and Tourism. Council is asked to extend the term dates for 3 members. Those members have been identified as Chris D'Souza, Simon Hudson, Janice Marshall, and this is due to Mr. Ellen and projects they are currently working on to June of 2017.
Just to extend.
Just to extend until June.
I move to approve, but I'm going to reserve the right to make an appointment out of this group of 3 in June.
Okay.
What are you doing, Sam? Are you,
Approving,
you're,
yeah.
all right.
This is the extension, but I'm just on the record saying that I would reserve the right to
Second.
to appoint.
Move the previous question. Clerk, call the roll.
Mr. Rickman?
Aye.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mr. Duval?
Aye.
Ms. Devine? Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Mayor Benjamin?
Aye.
And the last appointment is for the Planning Commission. Council is asked to reappoint 2 individuals.
Dale Stiglmeyer and
Earl Craig.
and Craig Waits. All right.
Mr. Chair.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. McDowell, second by Mr. Rickman. These are for terms. You understand that?
Stigmeyer and Waite.
Yeah, so they ended, so we reappointed them. They're filling, I think, terms are currently serving. Okay. We'll move to the previous question. The clerk, call the roll.
Mr. Rickman?
Aye.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mr. Duval?
Aye.
Ms. Devine? Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Mayor Benjamin?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you, Shanique. Other matters, council is asked to approve the installation of a 4-way stop at the intersection
So
of
moved.
Roosevelt Street.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll move to the previous question. Clerk, call the roll.
Mr. Rickman?
Aye.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mr. Duval?
Aye.
Ms. Devine? Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Mayor Benjamin?
Aye.
Council is asked to approve the installation of an additional street light at 1615 Wood
So
Lake
moved.
Drive.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll move to the previous question. Clerk, call the roll.
Mr. Rickman?
Aye.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mr. Duval?
Aye.
Ms. Devine? Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Mayor Benjamin?
Aye.
Hospitality tax applications for fiscal year 2017-2018. The Honorable Daniel J. Rickman.
I wanted to ask if council would extend the application process for folks who did not get in. As you know, we switched to an electronic version, and there was a little disconnect. I was approached by the folks at Trustis Theater who actually delivered their entire package to us and made the effort to get once they had realized that they had been locked out of the system. And I know there's several other folks out there who might have been in the same situation. I don't know how many people have approached Libby about it, but I would ask that we grant the extension through the 15th of this month, since this is the first year we've done electronic filing, so they have an opportunity to get their application
I second
in.
that request.
It was the most exuberant second we had all day. So we're going to take that one and let it ride. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll move to the previous question. The clerk call the roll.
Mr. Rickman?
Aye.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mr. Duval?
Aye.
Ms. Devine? Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Mayor Benjamin?
Aye.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, you all do not have any matters that you need to consider from the work session, sir.
And no one signed up either. Just want to thank y'all. I mean, sometimes our conversations here get really vigorous and engaged, but I know we're all operating from the same, singing from the same hymnal. So thank y'all for being informed policymakers. We'll continue to get the people's work done. We will now have a non-debatable motion to adjourn at 7:45 p.m.
So moved.
Oh, wait. We didn't say a thing about the women Gamecocks basketball team. How about the champs? So Everyone who's listening and watching, 3 p.m. on Sunday, we're starting right here at City Hall on the corner of Laurel. We're working our way up to the state capitol. Come on out. It's going to be a beautiful day, according to my friend Jim Gandy, and we're going to celebrate excellence. Excellence. Move the previous question. Clerk, call roll.
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.